But here's the thing. There's just a part of me that Jerry, the GM, won't fully give over that role. And Will McClay, there's just a small part of him that said, hey, he hasn't given me that GM title. I wonder if somebody else could. Not that anybody's going to go into Charlotte anytime soon, because I wouldn't touch that thing with a 10.5-foot pole. Mm-mm. Because that is a fire of great proportions. Mm-hmm. But, maybe another organization like the Bears. The Bears are looking for a new GM. Washington's cleaning house, and they're doing a good job. They're contacting everybody.
Now, I do think Washington did hire a GM this morning. I believe so.
Did they?
I think. I feel like I got an alert on that when we were in a meeting.
Okay.
We were in our employee meeting. I didn't get the chance to open it up because we were in a meeting, but I feel like they hired a GM as well. So
it looks like they just only hired the former Warriors GM to assist in the search.
Okay. So they're still looking. Gotcha.
Yeah, they're still looking. So multiple people are joining that. I think a previous Vikings GM as well, or assistant GM, or somebody has also joined that.
There's a lot of hands in the pot over there in Washington,
and for the better. I personally think they are going to turn it around soon. They have somebody that is not incompetent leading that organization now. I'm right.
Hey, I ain't say nothing.
I'm right. I mean,
I ain't say nothing.
It's a laugher what has been happening in that organization. I mean, from the handling of RG3.
Oh Lord.
I mean, we don't even really want to talk about
that. They
that.
ruined RG3.
They did.
That was a shame.
Just to, multiple other things, right? There's just a multitude of just mishaps that have happened in that organization. I mean, Washington Commanders. I'm sorry, just Washington Commanders. I don't think a single soul voted for Washington Commanders as the name. You couldn't convince me. You could show me the statistics and you wouldn't convince me that somebody voted for Washington Commanders to be the name of that football team. The Washington football team was a better name for that football team than Washington Commanders. I mean, that is that is cornier than corn on the cob. Like that is ridiculous.
I mean, because with the Washington football team, you look at something where someone asks you, hey, who's your team? I'm a fan of the team.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's pretty dope.
Right.
You can use that. I'm a fan of the football team. That's my squad. I mean, can't nobody else say that.
I'm a fan of the football team, by the way.
Right.
The Washington football team.
Yeah, you can use that. You can run with that.
Right. That's kind of fire. I think everybody was kind of coming on to that name.
It was growing on me. It had already grown on me. I was sold on it.
And then and the uniforms are so basic too. I mean,
they should have stuck with their original look.
Right.
Their original look was a classic look.
Mm-hmm.
The uniforms they had before was not their original look, but it's been their long time look since the 70s.
Right.
That was a classic uniform. Mm-hmm. It was one of the better uniforms in football. You got some uniforms that you shouldn't change.
Right.
That was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as the Commanders go now, like moving forward.
Right.
I think you have something. You could have something in Sam Howell,
yes,
but you got to protect him.
Mm-hmm.
He can't be getting hit every other play. He's not going to survive. You putting him in a situation where his career is in danger.
I know.
And you got good weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Terry McLaurin, Jihad Dotson, Curtis Samuel.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good trio of receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Antonio Gibson toting the rock in the backfield. Brian Robinson, those guys together. That's a solid duo.
Right.
So do something to fix your offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Do something to see if you can put something around Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne in the defensive front seven, because I really like them.
Yes.
That's one of my, regardless of team, that's one of my favorite defensive tackle duos in the league.
They're phenomenal. I think for the fact that, they had the worst defense in the NFL this year. I think for that, they have been one of the better defensive tackle duos.
Absolutely.
And it's just a shame, what they've done to uproot that defense, especially at the trade deadline when you get rid of guys like Sweat and Young.
Well, I think that was a sign too that they were blowing things up.
Yeah.
I believe that was a sign that they were starting to blow things up, and they said, "Hey, Montez, we're gonna send you somewhere where you can still produce. And at the end of that contract, you got somewhere you can pick and choose where you want to go because I believe his contract is up."
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me. Chase Young, we're gonna put you in a situation where you're not gonna get worn down. You can go be a rotational piece, and you can win. It's unfortunate that he went over there to San Francisco. I hate it.
I do too. That's such a weapon to get sent over to that team that has so many weapons. I mean, they have the U.S. military arsenal in that on that defensive line.
Pretty good.
I mean, they got everybody. They have everybody in the NFL on that defensive line. It's ridiculous. I mean,
they pretty much do. Randy Gregory over there too.
I know. I think people forget about that.
Yeah, he over there chilling. Rotational piece.
Randy Gregory is sitting, chilling, making some money on that sideline right now.
Now he plays.
Yeah,
but he's rotational, and see that's why I think I'm going too fast again. But that's why I think San Francisco is going to win the NFC is because of the depth on the D line.